In verse 186 to 188, it says like this, רבי אבא ויתי ותראה דאבה דלוד, חמה אחת ברנש דאבה תהה ויתי בחד קולטת לטהרה. Rabbi Abba was sitting somewhere in the gate of the city Lod. חמה אחת ברנש דאבה תהה ויתי בחד קולטת לטהרה. ואהבה להם מערכה ויתי ונעים תמן אדכי חמרת חד חביה דאבה תה לגבי נפק וסטפה דוגרדנה וקטילה לחביה קדת אור ברנש חמה הוא חביה לקבלי דאבמית הזדקף אור ברנש ונפלה הוא קולטה לעומקה דחותי דשזיב. The Rabbi Yehuda sees a person sitting on top of a rock on a stone and sleeping. A snake came towards him to bite him and to kill him. In the last minute, another animal came and killed that snake. And he woke up, see a dead snake in front of him, a little miracle. Then as he was standing up, the rock he was sitting on fell down the cliff. So second miracle. So Rabbi Abba asked him and came to him and told him, tell me, is there anything special that you're doing daily that brought and attracted miracles to your life? Because miracles don't just happen. Somehow you tapped into the energy of miracles that elevated light, which create a different reality altogether. You connected to different consciousness. Somehow it seemed to be you access that Or Haganuz. And we know Kabbalistically things are not just random, they don't just happen by themselves. Two miracles, one after the other. What is the reason? Any answer? I never went to sleep before I make sure I will forgive whoever hurt me, and not just forgive, will try to do everything in my power to help that person. And I did not hold any grudge and no hate towards them about that bad thing that they've done to me. Then Rabbi Abba heard that person and cried and say, that person is even bigger than Joseph, because Joseph forgave his brothers. It's from this portion. Joseph did not let himself feel grudge, negativity. He believed completely there's a bigger picture behind it, and his brother were just the messengers of the light. So again, what the Zohar tells us, that one of the powerful tools to access what we call the concealed light, or the Or Haganuz, that enormous light, that if I'm able to access it, I'm able to access miracles and wonders. And to access it is not just by begging for it and praying for it, is raising my consciousness to that place. In Hanukkah, just being open, that consciousness is automatically raised if we're lighting the candles with the right consciousness and intention. Reading the Zohar as well. But when a daily behavior or the day-to-day actions, we need to raise our consciousness. So here he speaks about the power of forgiveness, that a person truly gets the idea of true forgiveness, not, I forgive you, it's okay. Then he's able to access the concealed light and to draw down that energy of miracles and wonders and create total transformation. Why does it work this way first? And then we'll get a little bit inside us. Let's say somebody, you just helped someone yesterday, and today, as a return, somebody came to you and offered help. How would you feel about it? You help someone, not in an extraordinary, in a nice way, and as a result, you see somebody help you when you need them. How does it feel? Great. I see you. Would you say you see the light clearly? Yeah, I see the light. Thank you, God. Thank you, light. I see cause and effect. You're learning a lesson. You're in a lecture. You're in Shabbat. You're doing meditation. You feel great, awesome power that helps you to help others and to shift. How does it feel? Light. We feel, thank you, the light. It's clear, the light of the Creator. Now, does the light of the Creator ever cease from helping and giving? All the time. Now, let's say a different scenario. You're helping someone for 2 years, friendly, helping, you're more the giver than the receiver, and then, after 2 years, that person is really hurting you and affecting you emotionally and betraying you completely, which is very painful. If it's just a stranger, it's one thing. The fact that somebody that you helped doing it for you, how does it feel? Horrible, isn't it? Do you see or feel the light in that moment? So where is the light? Again, if we're looking, let's say, in these 3 hours of major pain and hurt, and later on I'm keeping it a seed of grudge in me, let's say, with that particular individual, there's no light, because that person is a horrible person. And indeed he is a horrible person, or she is a horrible person, people. But we've learned before, the light is always there. But here's the paradox that we have. The light is a force of goodness. So where is the light? Of course the light is there. The Or Haganuz is there. It's concealed. What does Ganuz mean? Concealed. It's there in a concealed way. Who sent that person to hurt me? Only the light. Only the light. Who sent Satan into my life? Who is allowing situation to trigger all my issues and my baggage? The light. Now, when I don't see the light at all, when I don't see the goodness of a situation, it's indication the concealed light is in my way. Is here, the concealed light wants to be revealed to me. The Creator gave me a chance now to be able to access miracles and wonders. Now, if I'm letting myself being hurt, feeling grudge, holding grudge towards the other person, a little hate, hurt, negativity, wishing them, of course, bad. There's different degrees and different levels. In that moment, basically, in that moment, what I'm actually doing, I'm so involved with the 1% reality, with the messenger, but I don't see actually who sent that messenger, and I'm not in touch with the essence of what's really happening to me. So I'm losing the opportunity. I don't have a vessel to receive the concealed light. I don't even have a desire to receive the concealed light. Leave me alone with the light now. I'm very hurt, which is honest true. It's part of being human. We get it, but do we want miracles? Do we want ways to access the Or Haganuz, or you want just to be human? Miracles. So what does the Zohar tell us? Because of that person reached a level of total letting go and forgiving, which we need to define, because he reached that level, he actually accessed the Or Haganuz. Because what is to forgive? Does it mean to forgive that I'm actually will be the best friend of that person like nothing happened? No. Sometimes practically you've learned who the person is. You're not going to be their friend. You're not going to do business with them. Sometimes you even need to sue them. But holding grudge is when I make them responsible to my suffering. Holding grudge when they're shutting me down. Holding grudge when they have negative feeling towards them. Holding grudge, they own my emotion. The experience with them own my emotion. Holding grudge, my heart is closed to be thankful and appreciative to the big picture. The fact that practically sometimes I shouldn't forget what they've done to me, that goes without saying. But the idea of forgiving is the only way I can forgive, the only way, if I'm actually connected to the light that sent that person and realizing the blessing for me and the opportunity for me, and it's only for me. I have total trust, number one, and eventually understanding why did it happen to me. First, trust that the concealed light sent that person to me to help me to grow. And second, the ability to learn the lessons of why is it in my movie. In what way the light actually tried to help me. And it's a process, it's not easy. But the first is the trust. Actually, the light is helping me through that experience to go to my next level. By doing it, I'm letting the light in, And I'm remembering that at the end of the day, the real relationship in this world is between me and the light. People, of course, to connect with the light is how do I act and relate to people. But people always will be ups and downs. Always will be sometimes connected, sometimes less, sometimes grateful, sometimes not. Always. When it comes to the light, it is an absolute power that always will be there for me. So when I'm facing a situation that somebody hurt me, naturally I'm holding grudge and I'm wishing them bad and I'm totally hurt and shut down completely. Maybe I forgot what happened 3 years ago in my childhood, but certain scenarios will trigger it, and again that same shutdown and bad feeling and feeling being victimized by someone will come back, which is true in a 1% from their point of view, but from my point of view, I'm not in touch with the concealed light that sent me the opportunity. I'm not in touch. And it's the light of miracle. It's concealed. But if I want the concealed light, the light that will help raise my consciousness to create miracles in my life, I need to be able to embrace those scenarios and to transform them. And no longer to look at the person who did it to me as my source of energy. To look at the light that sent that person. How do we transform that reality? How? And that's the question. And that's the question, and now we need a little bit help to break it down and to relate it to our own life. First I have to say that there are basically two periods, two types of position that we all are at to be in a place of the forgiving. Like Joseph. Joseph initially was sold as a slave and eventually was the king. So in both of these scenarios, I need to be able to find the forgiveness. When I'm a slave is when I'm totally down and destroyed and hurt by someone. Joseph had the power, and that person had the power to be able to realize the light of the Creator sent these people is nothing to do with them. I might need to deal with them later on, but first I need to embrace the concealed light that actually is in my life, that sent that scenario and situation. Then maybe I can deal with that person, particular individual, as far as how can I show them what they've done wrong. But as long as I'm not really seeing that the light, maybe the concealed light, because it's not revealed the light, send it to me, I'm blocked. Another position is a king. After already I'm in a position of strength and power like Joseph was, well, I'll take the advantage and I'll use it as a payback time. I'm going to show them I have now the power, and that's another type of forgiveness, which in verse 130 in the Zohar it speaks about the idea, when my enemies are falling down, don't be so excited. Because when I'm so excited when my enemies are down, and it's a source of energy for me, it's, even though it's the upside down, the other side of the coin, but it's the same energy of not being able to forgive someone when they hurt me. It's the same thing exactly. Being there. And the not being available being translated by the kids as major emotional abuse. Feeling left out, feeling totally the last one, the black sheep of the family. And step number one of the tikkun, the ability to forgive and to realize the light sent me that opportunity, and to be able to see the good that came out through that lessons with the father that I had issues with, but eventually to be able to correct what I didn't do last lifetime, which is to give to my kids and maybe to others during difficult situation, the compassion, the attention, the love. Which according to the laws of tikkun, when you need to correct something, every time you're not correcting it, it will be harder for you to do that action. It means, let's say initially you just needed to give attention and love to your kids, and you didn't do it. Next time, you'll be in the midst of you personally being hurt. You need to find a way to give energy and attentions and compassion to your kids. And nothing is an excuse, and that's the correction. But step number one He needs to be able to forgive, to release, because what he sees is what this person did to me. And we have no even ability to take responsibility. What's my lesson? How can I grow? How can I take myself to the next level? And the reason we all in certain level victims, because we don't see the big picture of our life, which is the small picture. We don't take in consideration past lifetime. We're all perceiving ourselves as righteous soul past lifetime. So the question the Rav would ask is, so what are we doing there if we're here, if we're so righteous? So why we came back? We all carry garbage from past lifetime. Step number one is accepting the light. Send that, as difficult as it is, that situation into my life to help me. Light is the force that helped me to get closer to Him. The force that helped me to shake up my klipot. Not the force that give me what I want. No. The force that helped me to clear myself and to help me to get closer to the light. That's the light. That's the power of the light. That's first acceptance, which is tough to accept. But what's the choice? Zohar is connecting us to the Or Haganuz. And there's dangers. More we study, the Satan wants me to feel, now I understand spirituality. Actually, people who really have experience of true transformation, more you study, you need to allow the space for the concealed, even about your teachers. Another concept to connect to the Or Haganuz, to access the Or Haganuz, the energy of miracles and wonders. Every time I have great experience and I feel illuminated and connected and plugged in, there's always a need to awaken a desire, but I know there's so much more that I don't see, enormous light that I don't see. I always need to keep that space, that vessel for the Or Haganuz, for the concealed light. Great feeling, it's light, but it's the revealed light. I need to constantly creating a vessel for the concealed light as well. The power of Hanukkah, by the way, that the concealed light is revealed to us.
I'm holding very tight. I'm floating in a midnight blue. I'm finding I can fly so high.